Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. I hope you have had a wonderful week. I am so tired. I literally just got back from work. As you can see, I still have my work clothes on and my lanyard on, everything. But I thought, you know what? I can't let my subscribers down. I've got to try and upload a video tomorrow. So that's why I walked in and sorted out my kids. And here I am. So it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of work, but we keep pushing, Right, so today, before we go into what I'm going to be doing today, I just want to say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Thank you to those who have already subscribed. Thank you to those who have put on your notification bell. Thank you to those who are constantly sending me comments or requests or whatever concerning my other videos. I really appreciate those and I look forward to those. It just shows that whatever we're doing or whatever I am doing is making an impact in someone's life. And that's the joy of doing this. So thank you so much. Please click on the subscription button and notification bell so that whenever I upload new videos, you will be notified. Okay, so straight on to what we're doing today, or what I'll be trying to teach you today. So today I'm going to be talking about sight words. Now, some people know this as high frequency words. Now, what are sight words? So sight words are words that are frequently used in reading or writing. So for instance, the word I, the word and, the word the word up, the word she, he, they, went. So these are words that are commonly found in books and also used for writing. So they are called high frequency words or sight words. Now, when I say sight words, basically it means that some of these words are quite hard for you to try and decode them using phonics. So some of them you just have to learn them by memory. Okay, so you need to commit those by memory. So for instance, the word she. Now, if you want to use phonics to read that word, sounds to read that word, it's not going to work because you're going to go sh, e, but then that doesn't, sh, sorry. So you will go sh, and that doesn't make the word she. So that's why I say it is not phonically decodable. So for instance, the word he, same. So you will have when you put it together, it doesn't make he, so it makes hair. But in this instance, you want to make the word he. So some of these words are tricky. Some you can decode phonetically. So for instance, and, that one you can decode phonetically, but some you can't. So that's why most of these words you need to learn them by sight. And sometimes it's very helpful if a child can learn those words by sight, because then it makes reading fluent. Because then if a child come across those words while they're reading and they don't know it and they try to use their phonics to read it, sometimes it can be frustrating for them. So it's better that a child is taught how to read high frequency words by sight. Then it makes reading easier and more fluent. So I'm going to be giving you some tips on how you can help your child, if you're a teacher or a parent, how you can help your child to read sight words and remember them. Okay, to learn how to read sight words and remember them. I think the first thing I'm going to be saying is there are quite a lot of them. Now in schools, you have quite a number of sight words that each class will have to learn. So for instance, in reception, they might say you've got to learn 20 sight words. By the end of reception, you should be able to read this by sight. Up, down, you might say year 2. There might be 50 sight words that they have to learn. So there's quite a lot of them, but then this can be broken down into little chunks to help the child. So for me, I would say always start by identifying the easy ones, because it gets complex. So the easy ones, for instance, I, and, up, on, is, it, the. These are the easy ones. So start by teaching your child the ones that are easy, and or a. So start by teaching your child the easy ones, because then it depends on what age. If your child is between the age of 4 or 5, then I'll say go for the easy ones first and then build up as you go along. You don't want to start with something like they, or you don't want to start with something like where, for a child who is just starting to read or learning how to read, then it gets too complex for the child, because the child might not have come across those sounds before anyway. So then it gets too complex for the child and too difficult for the child to try and remember. But things like I is just one letter. Things like a, things like the, things like and. Now and is three letter sounds, but and is phonetically decodable, so that one is fine. You can teach that one. Okay, so start with the easy sounds and then build up as you go along. The other thing that you can do to help your child with sight words is when you read books that have got the sight words, try and point them out. Okay, try and point them out and make an effort. So, oh, this is another word. This is the word that we're learning. So this is the high frequency word that we're learning. What is it? Now, for me, I made this to help my child. Now, this is my own invention. So what I do with this is, if, for instance, I'm reading this book with my child, and while we're reading, I come across or I see a high frequency word, I use that to just highlight it so the child can see that that is pointing to, that is showing the high frequency word a. So that way I'm kind of like highlighting it and making it very visible to the child and say, oh, that is a high frequency word a. Okay, so that way it helps the child to remember them quickly. For instance, another one, use that on. So the child sees that, oh, that is a high frequency word, and then by pointing those out, you are kind of making the child begin to understand and associate their mind with those, that rather than just reading with your finger and just going, oh yes, you can do this and say on, but for me this really helped, so I use that to help highlight the high frequency word in the book, so that way it sticks in memory. Also, another thing I did was so I've got cards like this. Okay, so these cards have high frequency words on them, and this one you can buy from Amazon. I just bought loads of from Amazon. So what I do is, for instance, if we're learning the sound, the high frequency word it, so I'll place this somewhere in the house. So the place where we usually spend time, which is my sitting room, I place this on a bookshelf where it's very visible, so that within the day, while we're going along, maybe if we're watching a movie or just sitting around and chatting, I can easily point it and say, oh, what high frequency word is that? And then she will tell me, oh, it's it. Of course, I would have done some teaching of that high frequency word, so she knows what it is. And then I might have one or two, put them in different shelves in the house where she can see them. And then while we're going around or just sitting down, I can say, what is this one? And then she says, in. What is that one? And she say, it. And I kept those in that shelf for a very long time, about a week or 2, 3 weeks. I mean, there was no rush. It's another thing, don't rush. So maybe 1 or 2 high frequency words a week, depending on the child. But for me, I think one or 2 high frequency words a week. Now in schools, they tend to do a bit more, so they might do maybe 3 or 4 within the week. But at home, I take it slow. So I just do 2. I place this somewhere in the house, and then during the day as we go along, I just point out those high frequency words to help remember them. Now another thing I do is as well, if we go shopping or maybe we go on a bus or something and I see maybe a billboard or a banner or even a receipt that has words in it, and the high frequency, if I spot any high frequency word, for instance in, I will point it out and I say, what is that on the receipt? What is this? And then she'll tell you, oh mommy, it's in, it's a high frequency word. Or on a billboard, if the car is not moving too fast, I can say, oh, I can spot a high frequency word on the billboard, can you tell me what it is? And then she'll have a look. Now because we've been doing these other things at home, so she might just have a look and say, oh yeah, I can see it, it's the. So these were the tricks that I used to help my child and the children that I have taught in my class high frequency word. The thing is, you've got to go over and over and over again, because as I said, these words are, some of them are not phonetically decodable, so you need to go over and over again to commit it to memory. So use prompts, use cards, and place them somewhere that they can see. If you're in a classroom, you can put it on a display board or somewhere on your wall, so the children can see it, and always make reference to it. Okay, so don't just put it there and leave it. Make reference to it, because this is how it's going to stick to the memory. And then start easy and slow, maybe one or two, depending if it's a school or at home, one or two high frequency words. Put this out where your child can see them, and constantly draw their attention to it, so they can see it and be able to put it in memory. And as I said, use everyday thing around you. Use everyday thing around you. You might not necessarily have a card. You can write it on a cardboard paper, and place it somewhere where your child can see it, or paste it on the wall, something where your child can see it. And then references. You use receipts, you use billboards, just things around you, to help reinforce that learning. And also books while you are reading. Use your hands, go through the books. You can make your own pointer. I don't know where to put it now. You can make your own pointer to help your child identify the high frequency words in the book easily, and also commit it to memory. And then as you go, you build up in difficulty. Okay, so start small and then build up in difficulty. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you've been able to learn something, even though I'm very tired and I just need to have a good cup of tea. But at least I'm sure you've been able to learn one or two things today. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions below, please, if you've got any comments or question, please put that in the comment box below, and I will attend to those when I can. All right then. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you shortly. Bye.